All right, let's talk about the real secret to slashing your handicap. And believe it or not, it has nothing to do with bombing your driver. It's all about mastering these little finesse shots that really matter in one specific part of the course that most of us just completely ignore. So let me ask you something. Just think about your own game for a minute. Where do you feel like you're really giving away shots? Is it that slice off the tee that drives you crazy? Or maybe another frustrating three-putt? If you said driver, you're in good company. That's what almost everybody thinks. I mean, a wild slice, it feels like it's killing your round, right? But here's the thing. The hard data tells a totally different story. The real damage to your scorecard is happening somewhere else entirely. That's right. The real opportunity, the one place where you can make immediate, and I mean dramatic improvements, is inside 100 yards. We call it the scoring zone. And today, we are going to make it your new favorite place on the entire golf course. So, what makes this little zone so incredibly critical? Well, think about it. Tour pros, they might only face a 75-yard wedge shot a couple of times per round. But for the rest of us, this is where we live. It's what happens after a decent drive when you just miss the green. Mastering this one area means you're looking at more birdie putts and easy pars instead of scrambling just to make bogey. Okay, but to get better, we first have to understand the real problem most of us have from this distance. And honestly, it's not what you think. It has almost nothing to do with hitting the ball straight. It's about something else entirely. It's called the north/south dispersion problem. What golf statisticians figured out is that when we miss from this range, our biggest mistake isn't hooking it or slicing it. It's hitting it the wrong distance. We either fly it way over the back of the green or we leave it painfully short with a tough chip. So distance control, that is the real enemy. And just look at this data. It's staggering. From 100 yards, a pretty good golfer, a 5 handicap, misses left or right by about 7 yards. Not bad. But look at their longer short miss. It's 12 yards. That's almost double. That huge gap you see right there, that is exactly where your strokes are disappearing. That is the problem we have to solve. So, we've identified the bad guy, this north/south problem. And here's the good news. There's a really straightforward 3-part system to fix it. And no, these are not a bunch of complicated swing thoughts. They are just foundational strategies that are going to give you real, measurable precision. So here's our path forward. A simple 3-step process. We're going to start with the tools themselves, your equipment. Then we'll build a repeatable swing system. And finally, we'll dial in that consistency by learning how to control the ball's flight. First up, let's talk about your clubs. For so many golfers, there's this massive 15, maybe 20-yard gap between their pitching wedge and their sand wedge. That forces you into all these awkward half swings, right? Well, the pros don't have that problem. They carry 4, sometimes 5 wedges for much tighter spacing. So here's your fix. Seriously consider swapping out a fairway wood you rarely hit for a gap wedge. It'll immediately give you the perfect tool for these crucial distances. Next up, let's fix the swing. The secret to distance control is not trying to hit the ball harder or softer. That's a recipe for disaster. It's all about having different swing lengths for different yardages. I love thinking of it like the hands of a clock. A swing to 9 o'clock goes one distance. A swing to 10:30 goes another. The key is the tempo and the effort stay the exact same. It's a system. It's repeatable. And hey, this isn't just some theory. It's literally how the best players in the world do it. Check out this quote from Bryson DeChambeau. He's not talking about feel or touch. He's talking about a system. A specific backswing length produces a specific predictable distance. It's science, not guesswork. All right, the final piece of our system is trajectory control. You've got to forget those high floaty wedge shots that just get eaten up by the wind. The goal is a lower, piercing flight with a ton of spin. And the technique is actually pretty simple. Put the ball slightly back in your stance and lean the shaft forward a little. This creates that predictable shot that just cuts through any wind and stops on a dime. And here is a fantastic rule of thumb you can take to the range. A really well-struck wedge shot should launch at an angle that's about half of the club's loft. So what does that mean? Well, if you're hitting your 60-degree wedge, you're looking for a launch angle right around 30 degrees. It's a tangible goal that helps you know instantly if you're getting that lower, controlled flight you want. Okay, so you've got the right equipment, you've got a repeatable technique. Now, how do we translate that into actually shooting lower scores? It all comes down to smart, on-course strategy. It's time to build up your golf IQ. This is what we call the pick a lane strategy. Now that you know your biggest miss is going to be long or short, you can actually plan for it. So instead of firing directly at the flag, you aim for a safe lane that gives your most likely miss the best chance of staying on the green and away from trouble like bunkers or water. So here's how that works in the real world. If the pin is tucked right up front, don't be a hero. Aim a few yards deeper into the green. If it's a back pin, aim for the middle of the green to take long completely out of play. Look, this isn't being defensive. This is being smart. It's how the pros give themselves so many birdie looks. So, we've covered equipment, technique, and strategy. The last piece of the puzzle is getting the right feedback to know if you're actually doing it all correctly. And today, technology has put tour-level analysis right into our hands. For decades, the top players have had access to coaches with launch monitors and 3D motion capture systems, giving them instant, precise feedback on every single swing. And yeah, that created a pretty huge gap between them and the average amateur.
Well, that gap is closing fast. What was once reserved for high-performance labs is now available to anyone with a smartphone. These new AI-powered apps can measure the very things we need to solve that north/south problem. They can give you instant feedback on your shaft lean at impact to confirm you're getting that low, piercing trajectory. They measure your attack angle and your swing path to see if those clock system swings are truly consistent. It's literally like having a tour coach in your pocket, telling you not just what you did wrong, but why the ball went 10 yards short. It replaces guesswork with a direct, data-driven feedback loop for real improvement.
So I'll leave you with this one final thought. The next time you go to the driving range, ask yourself this question. Are you just mindlessly hitting drivers, just practicing for power? Or are you going to dedicate some real time to the scoring zone? The one place where you can truly practice for precision and finally start lowering those scores.